How's it gaming? I'm PhilInTheBlanks. Welcome back to Reunion and Turnabout. Is it really true about my aunt? I'm afraid so, Maya. There's no way Enid could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. And under the circumstances, there's no one else other than your Aunt Morgan. Well, I mean, there was an entire channeling school presumably filled with students, but you never got to see them or anything. It's the problem with games like this where it's like, there's a crowd of people that totally could be one of them, but because it's not a named character that you met, nope, can't be them. Which, like, whatever. As a narrative game, I totally understand. That's terrible. Why? Why would my aunt... Everything is going just as I predicted, Mr. Phoenix Wright. She does not at all look like her father, other than, like, maybe the hair color, jeez. Ah, Miss Von Karma. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to take revenge on Nick? Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation. Looking down on me, even though we're the same age. Are you done yet? Oh, sorry, whoops. Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Not yet. My goal is to defeat you and let the whole world know of your defeat. But even if you do that, it won't bring your father back. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to its conclusion, and then we'll know who the real winner is. Okay. Taking this a little personally there. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Can you prove Miss Eeny Meeny had a motive? Yes, I believe I can. Eeny Meeny and Dr. Gray have only one point of connection, and that is the car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Ms. Meany, please testify to this court about your car accident last year. Huh? I thought, you wanted to, ask about my, motive. I, don't see the point in, bringing up the past. Ms. Meany, if you please. Okay. I totally don't think it'll do any good, but... Last year's accident. That was, last year in May. Something really bad had happened at, my sister's clinic around then. And, the night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, woke up because of a jolt, and, it was a sea of flames around me. I, opened the door and, got away. A lot of statements in this one, jeez. I think I've heard of this incident. It was all the talk on the tabloid shows day after day last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray drugging your sister. Whoa! Those were merely rumors, totally baseless gossip. Yes, Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Right now, it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did, in fact, drug Miss Meany's sister. Yeah, which means they'll have to work this from another angle. Yeah, it's definitely not something you really prove at this point over, like a year ago or 6 months ago or something like that, so. Last year in May, something really bad happened. The night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. Let's press on that. She was totally tired? You mean exhausted? She had to talk to the police and, was being investigated, every day. Oh, yeah, because it was right after the, all the deaths at the hospital. It was, a totally terrible situation. It's no wonder, then, that the car accident happened, huh? Press harder! So then, why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? What are you talking about? I meant switch drivers. If your sister was so tired, then you should have switched with her. True. Wow, way to shame her there, Judge. But I don't, have a driver's license. Well, we obviously know that is not true, because we have it right here. This is news to me. I was not aware you didn't have your license, Miss Meany. They really are hammering that for the audience there to make sure you pick that up. Miss Meany, please amend your testimony. Oh, this will be easy then, okay. Okay, anyway. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the presence. Why didn't it? There we go. I, didn't have my license, so, I couldn't take over driving for her. Well, we know that that is a lie. Objection! Ms. Meany, that was a lame lie just now. What do you mean? I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. What is the meaning of this, Miss Meanie? That's right. Yeah, I had, like, a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. We know that's obviously fake too. Weirdly easy suddenly. Like, these are things that, as long as you're paying even a little attention to this. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. Oh, that's a great person to listen to. What, are you talking about that perverted fake clinic director? Yes, that perverted fake clinic director. And how did you, whoops, ouch. No one cares. Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Like, last November. What? November? The accident happened last May. That's a half-year lapse in time, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What in the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright. You're just making fun of me, Judge, jeez. At the time of the accident, Miss Meanie did not have a driver's license. Ugh. I mean, couldn't we just prove it? Like, there's records of that type of stuff, so... Cry and my whip will accommodate. Kinky. Anyway, without a license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, like, glad you get it, but, like, even if I had my license, I, like, don't think my sis would've, like, let me drive. Yow! Don't just stand there humming to yourself. Not you too, Mia, with the whip and the pain and the ow. Ms. Meanie, why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because... I think the situation calls for a more detailed testimony. Ms. Meanie, if you please. Like, how annoying. Oops, like, sorry, didn't mean to be mean. I wouldn't be allowed. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car. So, like, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. Makes sense, I guess. I mean, letting your sister, your sibling drive your car that you're, like, super into, you know? I see. A bright red car for sports. Now then, the defense may question the witness. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about cars, but... I guess I'll give up. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license, okay? Totally big fan of cars. Let's press on that. She valued cars? How much would you say she valued her car? Well, like, she'd flip out at, like, a drop of rain, and, like, she would notice if someone, like, touched the car door with their dirty hands. Messed that tire text block up. In that case, why bother taking the car to the garage ever? Press harder? Why did she take such special care of the car? How can you say that? It was a brand spanking new car. New car? Like, you wouldn't want to, like, get it dirty, would you, Mr. Lawyer? I would think that cars getting dirty is just another fact of life, but... I guess people who really love cars think otherwise. Phoenix, try asking something of more significance, alright? Well, Miss Meanie, what kind of car was it? Really shiny, bright red sports car, sure. It was a new car? Yeah. She had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, from the UK. The UK? Were those her boyfriend's initials? And it was a really special model. She had waited for a whole year for it to arrive. I guess her love of cars would be the obvious next topic. Yes, press harder, I know where this is going now. I really don't know anything about cars, but I had a feeling this was bound to come up. Your Honor. Yes? Please have the witness append what she had just said to her testimony. You mean you mean the part about it being a special import car? Yes. Well, if you like cars that much, then that's not my point. But to be honest, I don't know what the point is either. Ms. Meanie, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. My sis's new car was like a totally special model from England, and we are going to want to present the newspaper clipping. Ms. Meanie, do you remember this article? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it, but I opened the right door and, like, got out. That's correct, isn't it? Like, why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat, the left or the right? And this is one of those interesting things that that works in the Japanese and English version, because both in North America and in Japan, we drive on the right side of the road, but in the UK, they drive on the left side of the road. So this is like a really interesting thing, but I would feel really bad for someone who just like genuinely didn't know that, I guess, because it's like, I know it's common knowledge, but imagine you're just like, I don't know what they drive on in England. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Future Phil here. So it turns out I was actually completely wrong. Japan does drive on the left side of the road, just like the UK. And this is actually a localization change where the import car is from the UK, but in the Japanese version, the import car is from America. It's a Camaro. I didn't know that. I don't know why I thought in Japan they drove on the right side, but no. They're like the UK, they drive on the left side. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of jump in there and say that. Back to the game. Well, it's the right side, of course, because the driver is on the left side. That would be if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car. Opposite? The two of them were riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. Ah, what do you mean by this? Ms. Meany, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car, but if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. Ah, ghost face. Order! Order in the court! Order! Order! Order, Act. Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Edie said the person who was driving was her older sister, Mimi Meany. That is what Edie said, yes, but that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, it looks like you finally found the real root of this murder. If we connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Edie or Mimi, who was really driving that night? And this is the, twist, basically. It was Mimi driving. The answer is the one person who had her driver's license, Mimi Meany. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. But you just said the witness, Miss Eenie Meany, was the one in the driver's seat. Which leads us to the next question. The next question? Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... Miss Mimi Meany. Mimi Meany, that is your real name. Of all the foolish dribble, then how do you explain her appearance? This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery? This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister. But Mimi Meany, she died in the car accident. That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case. Then, the body they found at the crash site. That was the body of the real Eenie Meany. Isn't that right, Ms. Mimi Meany? Imagine she's just being horribly wrong. That's such a leap of logic. Where did you get to that conclusion? But of course, it's correct, because this is Phoenix Wright. That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eenie Meany. Her sister, Mimi, then stole her face and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Meany from existence. Your Honor, I'm sure you can see and now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What do you mean? What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi Meany. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi Meany was still in fact alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted. So this witness had to stop that from happening, at all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Before the channeling, Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. What? Well, Miss Eni? I mean, Miss Von Karma. Why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness? Sad murder victim story time. Oh no. That's right, I admit it. My real name is Mimi Meanie. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? To become your own sister? I think I understand why. Mimi Meanie wanted her old self to disappear because of this. That's about the malpractice incident. Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Meanie. That's right, the person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Meanie had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients dying in that incident, and her own sister's life extinguished. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all, the only way. She lost everything in the flames of that accident, her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister. Which is why I actually think when she has the freakouts, she pulls down her hat and it looks like a phantom kind of ghost thing. I think that's just I don't know if they did it on purpose. I mean, you don't, as an artist and a conceptual person, design person on a video game, you don't do those things by mistake, really. That it's made to be that Eenie Meanie herself is dead, so the idea of it looking like a phantom is just a kind of connection to that. I just always thought that was really cool. Unbelievable! A plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo-jumbo. Mumbo-jumbo? Becoming Eenie had been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling, the occult, I hate it. I hate it all. Yeah, that's fair. I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as, why did Ms. Meanie choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Ms. Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fay. This is preposterous. I'm perfect. Me, Franziska Von Karma. I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Ms. Von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. Dang, you're really rubbing it in. Oh, poor Phoenix, no! Ow, 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 ow. And one more for good measure. Then Phoenix died. Next episode, the murder of Phoenix. Phoenix, hang in there, Phoenix! Phoenix! This court is a fraud, a sham. Yep, it's only rigged if it's against you, huh? Now then, it looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness, so I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty. Yay, we did it! It's a fun one. That is all. This court is adjourned. June 22nd. Woo! It took what? Overall, it was 3 or 4 days, I think. I don't know, something like that. Congratulations, Maya. Sis! Yay. That's kind of nice, because, when it was Maya channeling Mia, they wouldn't be able to see each other, so it's cute. It's nice that they have that kind of closure, I guess. And don't worry, Mia doesn't come back, a bajillion times. She's been coming back almost every single case. That doesn't happen every case. For a while, she's a bit of a crutch that she's just hey, Phoenix, I'll solve this for you, but it doesn't happen all the time. It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis, I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis, In my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent? I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right. There's still one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Gray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi had planned to open the door to the chamber herself, and then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder. She had planned it down to the smallest detail, huh? Nick! Congrats, Maya. Thanks! Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know. But I really don't want something like this to happen ever again. Well, I don't know, there's a bunch of other Phoenix Wright games. Maybe you'll be arrested for murder another time. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt. Hey Nick, tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi with a plan like that? I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Nick, please, I need an answer. The reason Morgan helped Mimi with her plan was... As awful as it was for technically a good purpose, but it was, you know, to help her daughter out. But obviously an awful thing to do. Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born into Kurine Village. And that person will be you, Maya. But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. And what would happen then? The Branch family? My aunt? No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearls. Ah! Everything was done for her sake. For her sake. It was also that Pearls would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think that she was saying I thought so. That's still a really shitty thing to hear about, though. That, like, your blood family still, like, would do something like that to you. Date and time unknown. Detention center, solitary confinement cell 13. My precious Pearl, you are the only one suitable to be the master of Kurine, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless main family girl. That Maya Fey. We in jail now, bitch, so don't matter. But I shall be patient, my dearest Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. Spooky. Episode 2, reading in Turnabout, the end. Wow, what a kind of dark ending. You don't even get to see, like, Pearl or anything like that. But yeah, wow, we did it. That was the second case of 4 for Justice for All, which is the second game, so hooray. The next episode, whoops, nope. Okay, good. I was going to say, don't jump in there. But yeah, the next one we will be doing next year. And they start getting a little bit more in depth. It's only had like 2 investigation and trial days, but I think they go into... Did they ever do the 3 investigation and trial days? I don't know if it stays to just 2. Anyways, with that, guys, thanks so much for joining me on another case from Phoenix Wright. With that, I am PhilInTheBlanks. See you next level. Thank you so much for watching this playthrough, and remember to hit that subscribe button to see what I'll play next. Big thanks to my patrons who are supporting me, it means a lot. If you'd like to support my channel, share my videos with some friends, or consider visiting my Patreon page.